Hi guys, so today I had an idea. I wanted to do a review kind of the Crafter's Companion quilling items that I had just recently picked up. I know you guys are probably curious about them. Maybe you're not, but I just grabbed so many and they're always having like sales on them or deals on them. So I just want to show you real quick. So these are some of the things that I picked up recently. I already have one of these open, but this is their quilling tool. I have a bunch of their dies I'll show you in a minute. But then I remembered that I also have the new Anna Griffin ones. I believe they're new. Like I said, I've had other sets of hers, but I think these are new styles. I think someone had commented that they were. I just picked up through HSN not too long ago. So now all her dies and things come on a magnetic mat. I'm going to back up as much as I can to get this in frame, but I don't, yeah. And so it has some pretty things in here. I'm assuming it came with a sheet. Yeah. And then I remembered that I had recently also picked up the Anna Griffin. It's on clearance on HSN. They probably still have it because a lot of times they have a ton of things like this and then they just, you know, wait until they sell it out. And it was only like 14 bucks or maybe less. The Anna Griffin Quillies bundle. And by that, it really, I mean, it has quilling strips, so just a little thin strips of paper. It has some frames and it has some instructions and like some other little wooden tool, but it also has the Quillies tool, which maybe you're curious if it works. And when I saw her using it, she had a little difficult time with it, but the reviews were really great. So I'm like, you know what? We will try this. So I will use the manual tool. I'll use the motorized tool. And I kind of want to keep it equal, like what I'm doing with one, I'm doing with the other. But again, I am going to use the motorized tool on one of them. I have all of these different dies, and I actually have tons of the Desire quilling dies. So I think I'll probably try this one because I love sunflowers and it's so pretty. And what I like about that is that I also have this base is basically what you want to use for your sunflower, especially. It has like little ridges instead of just the little strip that goes in the middle. I hope you guys know what I'm saying. Usually I might have the, well, I might have the die. You know what? Actually, we don't want to use that boring middle thing. I mean, that's usually what you see. But anyway, I have Shabby Rose, all kinds of different ones, but I'm going to use, and actually this one looks a lot similar to this one here, but I don't want to do that. So I'm going to use the sunflower die, and then that kind of fun middle one, and with the Anna Griffin one, I'll pick two of the dies to use too. So I'll use her center, one of these. Actually, I don't even know. I don't know if that's her center or if that's supposed to make an actual flower. Let me see. Because sometimes, yeah, it looks like she's using it as a center, maybe? She's using both of these, like this one here with the little roundness to it, which is really cute. I've made another flower just separately a while ago with that. And then she also has this. This one's curious to see. Yeah, because she's using this as a center for this one. This is a center for this one. Anyway, I'll figure it out. So we will pick one of these guys to use as a center. And if not, maybe we'll do with this one is just go ahead and use a little strip. Maybe we will use the boring strip on this one. Yeah, because she's saying that this one is just its own flower, even though it's kind of weird. So let me pick one of the flowers that we'll do and get some paper. Like I said, I kind of want to keep them the same, so I'm going to try to probably use the same papers, which maybe I'll get them from here. That way it's the same thickness, same paper, they're different colors, but this is from Crafter's Companion. When I got their deal, you guys, it was really good. It was the quilling tool and 4 dies for 19 bucks. So they usually want, you know, 18, 19 bucks for just one of the dies. So, all right, let's get out all of our stuff, our cutting tools, and we will get started. Okay, guys, so I'm using some natural lighting. Hopefully that's enough. So what we're going to do is let's open up this Quillies tool just to get this started. We are going to need extended plates, I believe, because I know for the, yeah, it's not going to work. The Gemini, well, let me just grab the Gemini Junior plate is too short, and so is the regular Anna Griffin, you know, Impress plate. So, but if that's all you have, guys, I believe, yeah, so, okay. That's for the Anna Griffin dies, okay? They're pretty long. But these guys are a little bit shorter, and I think they had said that if you really needed to, you can put it at an angle in a smaller machine, I think with the Go, because, maybe not the Go. I don't know. But if you have a problem, you can put it at an angle. These are much shorter, which basically means you need more of these strips, right? Because if it's a nice long strip, you're gonna roll up a nice flower pretty easily. So I was gonna go grab some batteries, but it comes with a battery, so there we go. There's a lot going on here as far as I don't know what these other little bits are for, but we will see. So you just open it up easily enough. I hate when they make it so that you have to like get a screwdriver out, but this appears to, let me see here. Jeez, it opens, but it's really tough. So I'm just gonna open this up and I get the battery in it and it'll be ready to go. Okay, I'm not gonna waste time here showing you all that. What we're going to do is go ahead and just, you know, again, I'm just gonna use extended plates probably in my Empress just to get these cut out. So I'm gonna cut out these strips here. I'm gonna have to get some brown. I want to try to keep the same papers across the whole thing so you can kind of see what they look like, but I guess that doesn't matter because this center should be brown and I only have like white and yellow and other colors like that. I will use the yellow from this pack for the flowers here. So when I come back, that's all going to be cut out. It's easy. I mean, let me walk you through really quick just in case for people who are super, super new. Let me just open this up. And we're just going to pretend the plates I'm showing you right now are the cutting plates I would normally use. So I'm going to take... Oh, these are really cool, actually. I don't know how much they charge for these. I didn't even know that they sold these on Crafters Companion's website, but I do like that they're ready to go. The length of... Now this is funny because they're like, oh, this is going to be great. It doesn't fit this one on here. You see that? It does not fit. So I don't know if I'm going to be using these strips at all. We'll see. This is why we're trying things out, guys. It's good to know. This is it's nice and thin. That's the other thing I wanted to mention. A lot of times people like when you make flowers to use like printer weight paper, not so much cardstock, because you can mess with this and fuss with it and it looks more natural than cardstock, thick cardstock, but that's up to you. I don't know that I have paper that's this thin though, that's colored. So I'm probably gonna use cardstock for these. That's a bummer. That one just misses. That's so weird. Anyway, okay. So anyway, I would just, let's just say, just because like I was going to tell you guys. So you would take your die, obviously face down or face up, however you want to do it, but your paper needs to be on the cutting side. And just sandwich it up just like you do at any of your, machines. So for this one, for the Gemini, it'd be the plate. What I do like to do is put the magnetic mat down next, because it keeps getting thrashed. And then I put my clear plastic one. And then I put the die with the cutting side face up, and then the metal mat. Or you can put the metal mat down, put this down, and then put all these things on top of that. So however you want, just keep those things separate. Metal, and then the other cutting plate. And in your Empress, it would be like your cutting plate, the metal shim if you want, the die facing up or down, the paper up or down, depending on how you want to face your die, and then the other cutting plate. Okay, and then run it through. I'll be right back. Quick, guys, I know this has nothing, well, not that has nothing to do with it. I recently just picked up this little table. It's like a side table, but it's a lot bigger. Like one of these kind of tray tables, I guess. I got it at Walmart for like less than 15 bucks. And I've just had it stored away, you know, just whenever I don't need it. But whenever I bust out my Empress or even my Cricut machine will fit on here just fine. I just put it on there because I really don't have any other room. If you can see, my table is just what it is. Everything that's around me that I can just grab and use, and I need to clean it up. And then where I film, you know, so it's a mess, I know. So I just want to show you that. You know what, real quick, while this is here, I might as well just show you. This is the extended cutting plate. I have the Empress. It's the plastic cutting plate. I have the magnetic mat, which is going to be really hard to remove from this metal shim. I try to keep them that way because I don't want to mess up the magnetic mat, which they get messed up pretty easily. I have both of the Crafters Companion sunflower dies face up, as you can see the cutting edge is up, and I have a piece of paper folded over already so I can just pass it through one time and get 2 of each one. And I guess if I wanted to, I can also run the brown one through right now. Next cutting plate, and then I'll just run it through and those will be cut out. So when we come back, I'll have everything cut out, the Anna Griffin ones, and we'll start quilling. Okay, so while the Anna Griffin dies are just popping out, oh, and this released really easy. All I did was pick it up and it stayed on here. I only did 1 strip of each of these because they are very long, and on her instructions she shows to just use the 1 strip of each size. So we got that. I did want to mention on, not the Anna Griffin ones, because those are like complete solid. Let me show you. Oh, I just want to show you how tight this thing gets too. So you probably don't need the metal shim. I just like to look at that. And it'll carve into your magnetic mat that way if you put the metal shim under the mat. You know what I'm saying? So if you do that. So I always put it on top. And then these are solid. So there's nothing else that you're going to do with this other than cut. With the Crafter's Companion one, if you really wanted to, you could come in and get some ink and do some embossing on here. So you have like a different color in the middle of the petal. I cut 2 layers at one time, so I would have to do it twice. You can put the rubber embossing mat and run it through again so it has some texture. Right? This part will kind of get embossed, so that's up to you. They did say to be very careful. I do have 2 pieces of paper here, so I'm not super concerned, but they had said if you want it, what you should do first is release this bottom part and then go up towards the petals, okay? So I don't know if you can see, it got embossed a little bit anyway because it was 2 sheets that I popped up at the same time. There, maybe there. You can see that. So that's nice. I do like having that option, a little something more creative. I'll take those apart in just a second. Same thing with this little guy. You can do that however you like. Again, if you want to emboss them, which kind of happened anyway. Really quick with the tool, I have my battery here. I'm just gonna push that in. It wasn't that hard to open. I don't know what happened. It was just being funny for me at the moment. So this tool, I don't know if you can hear it. It just spins really fast. It has the 2 other bits. I'll probably throw this away because I always end up holding onto boxes and I don't need to. So this little piece of plastic you're going to put on here, and it's going to help you when you're done to remove the coil, right? Instead of trying to pull it off, if you're just doing a fine little coil, this will help you. And then to put it away, it has its own little top, which I think is really adorable. So everything stays together. I can keep this on my desk, so I'm going to throw that away. I don't want to hold on to more boxes like I always do. All right, so I'm going to start off with the Crafter's Companion one. And I'm going to do wet glue as I go along, even though I would like to use liner tape just to make it faster. But whenever I've made quilling flowers, I don't put glue at every juncture. I just kind of go around here and there and do it that way. So what Crafter's Companion says though to do, and normally if you watch their videos, is you're going to layer these up on top of each other. So as you spin around, you only have to do half as much, right? Half as much spinning. So what I'm going to do is take my wet glue, and this happens to be the Kohl's tacky glue. It kind of rumples things, so you know, if you don't want to use this glue, obviously don't. But this is what I have here. So I'm going to move these things to the side. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue at the base of this. And this is basically how you quill anyway. Adding the glue at the base like that. Like I said, I'm not going to put glue at every juncture. And then you're going to kind of... Oh, I should have done some distressing. I was going to ink them up, you guys. I totally forgot. Anyway, if you want to ink it up, you can still do it now. Just get some ink and go around the edges, you know, before you put them together. Do a little distressing. Now these are face up. The pretty side is facing up. Okay, because when you quill them, they're going to come together like this, but then you're going to push it out, right, to bloom. So I have that. We're going to do the same thing with this little guy. Now I've already told you my pet peeve. What I've noticed on these is that the small part of the flower is so much smaller than the other portions, and I wish they had put like a middle-sized one. I don't know if you can see what I'm talking about. Like the inner part of the flower is way in here, and then these big petals out here. I wish this was bigger or these were smaller. Either way, so that it's more gradual, but they didn't do that. So this is what we have. So again, I'm gonna put a layer of glue. I hope, yeah. I hope there's enough lighting. My lighting is always an issue, but people tell me it's okay, so hopefully that's okay. And if it's too dark, guys, put the brightness up, the bright level on your screen up. I tell you, I have to craft at a certain time here, and then it'll look great. But if it's morning time or even a little bit later, it just does not look that good. Okay, so we have those. These guys, I don't think it benefits me to stick these together. I mean, that's kind of weird, right? Would that be silly? I think that's silly. I don't know. We'll just roll these up the way we should. Okay, so we have our 2 centers. I'm going to do old school with them because I have their quilling tool. Okay, I opened, here it is. So on one end, it does have like a little, something you can use for scoring if you want, but it's a little bit rough though, so I probably wouldn't. And we're going to take this center, and you know how whenever you die something or die cut something, it kind of pushes in, so this side is nice and rounded, and this side is kind of squarish. I'm just going to put my paper right down into the quilling tool, and I'm going to roll it towards the square side. Okay, so hopefully you can see that it's all the way down in there. And you want to keep it tight at the beginning, or the whole time actually, but so I'm kind of keeping tension with my left hand and pulling it tight with my right. And as you can see, I haven't put any glue yet. But what we can do with this one, because it's kind of easy, it's not too, I'm going to put a little bit of glue just at the base, towards the bottom, okay? Again, and I'm keeping my fingers now that I put the glue at the very edge of the quilling. And now I'm kind of just wrapping around. So you want to keep it straight, as straight as you can. What's good about this glue is that it's a wet glue, so you'll be able to mess with it still, because it doesn't dry that fast, even though it's a little bit fast drying. And I'm still pulling it. Now, if you wanted this to look like their picture, you're gonna need like, I don't know how many rolls of this brown. I'm just gonna do the 2 that we cut. But if you look at the picture on the front cover there, they have a big, huge roll of the brown part. I guess that's why I don't quill that often, because I'm a little bit impatient. But we have this guy, and before I finish that guy off, we could have attached them both together, which I did not. I'm gonna put a little bit there. I'm gonna get this guy, ooh, and make sure, I don't know if you noticed, I trimmed my nails back. They were too long, you guys. I went for it. When I did my nails, I was like, ooh, I'm gonna go for this. They were too long. Okay. So the end of that, I'm going to put the next piece and just kind of start with that. I just kind of rolled it with my hand. I don't know if you noticed, I kind of twirled it so that it starts holding on. Again, if you wanted to do any distressing, we could have done that first. Okay, so I'm going to continue rolling until I get to the end of the strip. And I'll just sit here quietly until I get that done. Gets a little bit easier. I'm kind of just rubbing, I said I'll sit here quietly, but I'm kind of just holding this now and keeping it tight and kind of guiding it with the top of my pointer finger. I'm kind of afraid of that little tool, just so you guys know. I feel like it's going to go bzzz and just take off, but we'll see. Alright. Now we have the center, and you can kind of look down at it and see if it's straight. So I'm looking down here, it started coning a little bit, so I'm going to push down. When this is flat, you can just push it down, you know, into your work mat, but this is not a flat one, so I don't want to do that. I don't want to mess it up, so I'm just going to work with it. Just try to get it all pushed back down. And that's okay. There we go. Alright, now let's bring in our little guy. Okay, so this is the pretty side. It's facing me. And we're going to... now let me think how I want to do this. I'm going to roll it like this. Do I want to roll it towards me? Or away? I think rolling it away. So you can do however you like. So you saw that, but the pretty side is facing up. Now you can either roll it up this way or roll it down towards you. I think I'm going to roll it away from me. So again, let's put that glue. If you wanted to put the liner tape, just put the whole strip and then just go from there, right? So I'm trying to hold it together as we're doing this. I'm trying to hold it together. Not personally in my real life, that's not what I meant, but it sounded funny. Okay, let's see here. So that wet glue does, again, have that maneuverability, so when I started, it kind of wants to move. And I think I rolled the brown part tight this way, so I switched the rolling, so I'm not really even using this anymore. This is just holding it for me at this point. I'm not twisting this, because again, like I just said, I'm going to unroll the brown part if I do that. So it's just basically a handle for me, sorry. Just keep that in mind. Maybe for this next one I'll start rolling it the same way, that way I don't mess that part up again. Oh, it's slipping out, it's slipping out. Yep, look at. Alright, let's get that back. Alright, total fail. Let's try it again. Not total fail, but fail enough. I'm going to try to get this back in here. Actually, I'm going to slip it out. And put this back in here. There we go. And as the one gal was saying on Crafter's Companion, she's like, you could just roll it in your hands at this point. But you know, here we go. I might put it back on the stick and then roll it the same way later. Sorry guys, that was kind of a mess up, but we got it, we got it, we got it. I'm still keeping it tight. Trying to. I think any other time I've ever quilled for you guys, I've always used the liner tape. Because boom, when you do that, it's done. Okay, I'm gonna hold this. I'm gonna let it dry just a little bit before I move on to the next one, okay? I'll be right back. Okay, since mine already came off the stick, I'm just gonna leave it off the stick. So here we go. Next one. Maybe this time I'll, either way, pretty side is facing you. However you want to do this. And if you want to put a little glue at a time as you go along, that's great too, which is normally what I do. I don't know why I started changing it up. And this time I'm going to go the way I should have gone, which was towards me, because that's kind of how I started, right? So let's just keep that in mind. But anyway, I'm just putting it right on the very edge again and just rolling it tightly. I'm doing this any old way, as you can see now. At this point, I'm just flopping it around. All right. I can see it's going to be pretty. But again, I wish that middle section was just a little bigger. All right. Especially since they sell that quilling paper. Like, let's say you bought this dye and you bought that quilling paper, it doesn't even work. Anyway, so if this was all dry, I would wait for it to dry, dry, dry. If you used your liner tape, you're ready to go. But at this point, and sometimes I like to crunch my leaves, my petals, so you guys could have done that at the beginning. Give it some texture. You can go around and, you know, mess with each petal, but we're just going to open it up basically at this point. I'm still holding the bottom very tight just because of my glue, but now I'm going to put it down and open it up. And at this point, because the way it's held to the little strip down here, you can kind of manipulate your leaves. See how they're all kind of in the same spot even though we staggered them? It just happens. I always feel like whenever you do the staggering thing, it doesn't really make that much of a difference, but it's nice too. But see, because that little area where it holds onto your leaves, your petals, is so delicate, so thin, you can move them around. Okay, and make it a little more full. There's like 2 petals stuck together right here, even though supposedly I staggered them. So pretty cool, right? It's cute. I like it. Okay. My middle kind of popped up just a little bit, but that's okay. I mean, it's a flower. I have some flowers growing in my garden right now, and they're all completely different, obviously. So I'll keep messing with this once it dries, but that's easy, cute. Now, the Anna Griffin one, I'm going to turn on the light. I feel like I don't want to, but you guys, let's see. I don't know. Okay. The Anna Griffin one, she says on her instructions, and what's funny about her instructions is that she uses the quilling, this tool. She's not even talking about the old school one. Is all you're going to do is put the one strip, glue it together with the inner petals. So you have your outer petals and inner petals, and then just roll it around and remove from the coil from the quilling tool and apply adhesive to the end of the outer petal, which is kind of interesting. I guess because the thing spins so fast, she's not saying to put any glue on the inside other than gluing those 2 pieces together, which is kind of odd, but I will do what she says. All right, so let's bring these guys out. Again, if you're going to distress them, do all that fun stuff, do that ahead of time. But I'm going to put a little glue right there. Bring in my other guy. Glue these together. And I'm going to wait for that to dry because this needs to be dry or else it's going to probably rip apart when we use the quilling tool, so I'll be back. Okay guys, I'm a little scared of this thing. I'm not going to lie. Let's put this to the side here. Let's clear everything out. I'll put this over here. Okay. Oh, so let's open that up. Hopefully that didn't... Okay, it's sturdy. And we already have that little tool on here. I want to see in her picture. Is she using that? See, she doesn't have it on here on this picture. Actually, it's hard to tell. No, it's there. Something's weird because it looks like it moved down here, but as you can see, there's a little bump there, and without this, there would be no bump. It would just be flat. So I'm going to do it she has in this picture. Place the end of the inner petals into the slotted end of the quilling tool. I want to see which way this thing turns. Ooh, that's scary. All right, again, I have the nice side facing me. I'm assuming this thing is going to roll. If it doesn't roll inward like this direction and it goes the other way, I feel like that's weird. But whatever. So we're putting that little paper all the way down at the bottom of the slot. Oh my goodness. This is Okay, good. Oh, yes, that's what I want to see. So it does roll inwards because this is the nice side of the paper. So that's what you want when you bloom your flower, to be on the inside. I hope that makes sense. So yes, it does. Ooh, Lord have mercy. This. Okay, I don't know how to hold this, but it does a good job. I'm just going to hold it here to kind of keep it like guided, I guess. I'm not really... Wow, you guys. I like this. I guess I probably should just let go of it. It's not that tight though. Well, I guess that's why you use the other tool. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of pull it a little bit tighter. It's not that tight. I don't know if I like that. Anyway, it says to remove it from this. Ooh, again, this whole piece helps you do that. And I guess if you wanted to, this kit comes with a little piece of wood that has like guides, and I guess you can sit that in there. But she didn't say to do that because obviously not everybody's gonna have all that stuff. She says to glue the last whole petal to, I guess, here. But if I'm going to do that, I'm going to tighten it just a little bit more. I'm not going to glue that whole petal. Sorry. So her picture shows, oopsie, oops, something just fell. Something's going to fall. This whole petal has glue on it. But if I do that, there's nowhere to stick it. It's like in between a couple of petals. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. I'll put a little bit of glue on that. And then glue it down. So I'm going to hold that for a little bit for the glue to dry. And I'll be right back and we'll bloom it out. Okay, this one's obviously smaller. It's cute. Little guy. Again, there's nothing in the middle holding this. So that should mean that it's going to open up, right? It should fill in its own spots. But we will see. So let's just bloom her out. Again, if you want to crunch up your petals, you can even do that afterwards. You can actually take this tool and put it in the slot here and just kind of give them a twist, which is what I like to do normally. Kind of mess with my petals so they look a little more natural. So you can go do that, or just with a pair of whatever you want, right? Tweezers, some people hold on with the tweezer and give it a twist just to give it more shape. I'm trying to open this up. This middle part's so tiny and persnickety, it's so cute. Now, I can see kind of gaping holes in the middle, but that's probably because, like, the quilling. I don't know if you can see that big hole in the center. So that kind of bothers me, and to be honest, if I could get in there with this tool, I probably would, and kind of tighten it up a little bit just to maybe even pull it down and get some glue in there. How about that? Sorry, I'm going to have to do it because it drives me nuts. Those are big gaps. So if I put a little bit of glue, at least that'll hold the paper in certain areas, right? And then our flower might be a little fuller where it needs to be. Cute! Again, if you don't have this tool, just roll it up with a quilling tool. And they're super cheap nowadays. I mean, you can find them pretty much any craft place, get them with a coupon. Alright, guys, so I don't know, let me know what you think. I think they're both adorable. Obviously, they're very different flowers, a bit of a different technique. But how cute are those? I like it. I do like this tool. I think, I don't know, it feels weird because like when it does so fast and then it kind of comes apart. But again, I'll show you that piece of wood tool that I'm talking about that comes in the kit, so you're not confused too much. So basically, after you quill it and you use that little tool to help you bring it up, you're gonna put this down and you put your little roll in here. So the roll will either open up or you can help it tighten up if you need it to, right? And then you can kind of manipulate a little bit. But like this looks like, I was gonna say probably number 1. Probably between it's number 1 and number 2, the base of it. And then you can do what you need to do with it at that point. But okay, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye now.